The Celtics stay alive. They got to win two more, though, to make the monster comeback. Or do the Knicks punch their ticket to the Eastern Conference Finals? I've got the answer for you here. Game 6, Celtics-Knicks, Friday night on ESPN. Free plays on side, total player props, deep analysis, deep dive coming up right here, right now. Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV. And never in doubt, Boston Celtics from start to finish, blowout win in Game 5. And boy, have we seen this before, right? A star player goes out in the NBA, they cut the point spread in half, and the team bounces back and wins big. Of course, the Celtics have been a monster this year off a loss. In fact, with that win in Game 5 following the Game 4 loss, the Celtics are now 22-3 straight up, 20-5 against the spread this season after a straight-up defeat. That does not apply here and will not apply the rest of this series because if Boston loses Game 6, the series is over. And the odds makers and betting market are saying that's likely. Knicks are currently a 2.5-point favorite. That's where it opened. We've seen very little movement. We have seen some movement on the over-under, though. Open 208.5. It's now up to 210 in most spots, so a little bit of money on the over. And I think part of the reason is because we've seen a big adjustment down on this total as the series has gone on. Keep in mind, Game 1 was 213, then 211. We had some 209s. But we have seen back-to-back overs here the last two games. 234 points in Game 4. Tatum, of course, had a monster game. And then without Tatum, they still got to 229 on Game number 5 on Wednesday. But it all came down to Boston's three-point shooting, and that is the real X factor in this game. There's no question about it. If Boston's going to win and extend this series, they have to hit threes. They weren't doing it in the games they lost. Games 1 and 2 that they lost at home, they hit exactly 25% from three in each game. They were 15 for 60 from three-point range in Game 2. And then we had a strong bounce-back best bet on them in Game 3. We had their team total over in Game 3. We cashed them both last weekend as the Celtics went 20 for 40 from three-point range for that Game 3 win. And then they regressed, of course, lost Tatum, but he had a big game. They lost Game 4. And then we got the injury bounce back in Game 5. But more importantly, once again, the three-point shooting was good for the Celtics. They were 45%, 22 for 49. They took 49 threes and made 22 of them. They were plus 30 from three-point range. The Knicks shot 40% from three. They only hit 12, though. So the Celtics were plus 30, only won by 25. So they have to hit threes. Whether they're going to hit 22 threes again at 45% on the road now, off a win, probably not. For that reason, I would lean towards the Knicks here. But it's tricky because I still think the Celtics overall might even be the better team without Tatum. But I just don't know if they are. And they're going to have to hit a monster amount of threes. And the other thing that concerns you if you're a Celtic fan is not only were they plus 30 from three-point range and only won by 25, but the Knicks dominated the free throw line. They got to the free throw line 40 times on the road and still lost. You've got to figure at home they'll get some calls now. They were 32 for 40 at the free throw line. Celtics, meanwhile, got there just 26 times, 17. So the Knicks were plus 15 points from the charity stripe on the road. So there are some reasons to like New York. And also quality teams bounce back off blowout losses, and it was a blowout, embarrassing loss. In fact, Boston led by as many as 28 in the game. Celtics have had the bigger lead, I believe, in every single game. They have led by 14 or more in all 5 playoff games, even without Tatum. So that's another reason I lean Knicks, but it's dicey because Boston has been the better team in this series, even though they're still down 3-2. But got to figure the threes probably aren't going to fall as much. And New York has been the more physical team. And Tatum out of the lineup. Tatum's actually one of the better defenders, one of the more physical players. So, yes, his offense is lost, but so is his defense. And I think that's one of the reasons we've seen this total bump a basket higher from the opening number. I'd lean New York minus 2.5. I think they most likely close out the series. By the way, lowest ticket prices in the $480 range. New York fans are excited. They're going to rock MSG on Friday night at 8 Eastern on ESPN. Best way to approach this game might be player props. So with all the uncertainty of Tatum out, let's look at some player props here. And, oh, by the way, first of all, I love the comments. I do read the comments. I reply back to as many as I can, so keep them coming. But please pay attention in the videos. I said clearly on Wednesday, I was doing the video on Tuesday afternoon before Tatum's official injury report was out. Did not expect him to play. The line obviously said he wasn't going to play. It was 5, went to 4.5, so it didn't really move. And then right after that, it was announced he had Achilles surgery. But I clearly said in the video that I don't expect him to play, but I'm doing this video early. So many people commenting, of course he's out. He had Achilles surgery. How could I ever listen to you again? How could I trust you? Cracks me up. I love the comments. Keep them coming. And by the way, many of you jumped in and replied on my behalf that Steve clearly said he was doing the video early. And I do these videos early. I'm doing this one on Thursday afternoon because we get them up right after midnight for the next day's games. So you have plenty of time to watch them, do your own handicapping, and win some money. And by the way, the player props have done quite well here in the playoffs. I know you guys are liking those, so let's keep them going. First thing we look at with the Celtics is who's going to pick up the load without Tatum. And keep in mind, I believe Boston is now 9-2 straight up this year without Tatum. Those two losses both came to the Orlando Magic in the regular season. Most of the wins were against some bad teams. They beat the Wizards, the Hornets at the end of the regular season. They beat the Jazz. By the way, without the Jazz, Sam Hauser stepped up and set an NBA franchise record. I think he had like 9 threes in a quarter, 11 overall. It was craziness. They still only won that game by 6 in the regular season. Some of you in the chat had said Hauser props might be worth a look. He actually hasn't done much without Tatum. And the game, keep in mind, game 2 against Orlando, they did beat the Magic in the playoffs without Tatum at home by 9. Hauser didn't do much in that game, and he didn't do much the other night. And most sportsbooks don't even have props on him. But the one guy off the bench that has really stepped up when Tatum has not been in the lineup has been Pritchard. In fact, Peyton Pritchard had another nice game with 17 points. He took 17 shot attempts and played 39 minutes off the bench, 14 three-point attempts, only hit 5 of them, and finished with 17 points. And he also had a good game, 14 points, I believe, in that game 2 against the Magic earlier in the playoffs, in which Tatum also did not play a few weeks ago. So once again, Pritchard has actually been the guy off the bench that has really stepped up. And in that earlier game against the Magic, he only took 6 threes, but he still finished with 14 points. The odds makers aren't stupid, though. Obviously, they're going to price him higher now, and he is priced at about 14.5 points right now. But he averages 14 a game on the season. His player prop was 8.5 to 9.5 when Tatum was in the lineup. They bumped it to 14.5 for game 5. He got to 17, but he actually didn't shoot that well. He took a lot of shots, played a lot of minutes. So if Pritchard gets the minutes again, which I think he will, his over 14.5 could be worth a look for Boston. He's the one guy that's getting more minutes, getting more shot attempts. Derek White also taking a lot of threes. He had a monster game, obviously, in game 5 the other night. 16 shot attempts in 40 minutes, 34 points, 7 for 13, but he also got to the free throw line 11 times. So Derek White is doing a lot of the heavy lifting as well. Normally you'd look for a regression from a guy having 34 points. And by the way, his total is around 16.5 when Tatum was in the lineup. They put it at 19.5 in game 5. It's now 20.5. But Derek White overs, Pritchard overs would be the only way I'd play that. Even though they both had big games, they're going to have to step up again. And that would hedge a little bit. If you play the Knicks minus 2.5, you could play those guys over. Player props is a little bit of a hedge because if they are off, it's going to be bad news for Boston. As far as the Knicks, I do look for some. Oh, by the way, Porzingis. Let's talk about him real quick. I said a little bit of a flyer on his over, perhaps, but I said it was risky because he'd been playing very few minutes, didn't look healthy. I know many of you commented in the chat that was the risk, and you were exactly right. He only had 1 point, and he played very limited minutes. 12 minutes as a starter, played 12 minutes, whereas Pritchard played 39 off the bench. He was 0 for 3 shooting, 0 for 2 from 3. Obviously, something is not right with Porzingis. I'd be very careful with him going forward. As far as the New York player props, though, some bounce-back games here. Off a blowout loss, we expect the Class A guys to bounce back. Jalen Brunson would be the first suspect to bounce back. He played 33 minutes, had 17 shot attempts, but was just 1 for 4 from 3 and finished with just 22 points. Brunson over props would definitely be worth a look here. I look for him to have a big game at MSG trying to close him out. Hart had a big game, 35 minutes, 24 points, 7 for 15 shooting. He probably can't play much better than that, so I'd probably stay away from him. Karl Anthony Towns, only 5 for 11 shooting. He might not be 100% healthy, but still had 19 points. Mikal Bridges is a guy that might be worth a look. We haven't talked a lot about him in this playoff series. Did not shoot well, just 4 for 14 in game 5, but he played nearly 40 minutes. Finished with just 9 points. He only was 1 for 3 from three-point range. Did not get to the free throw line, which is crazy since they had 40 free throw attempts. Bridges, though, keep in mind, had 23 points in game 4 in New York. He had 12 and 14 before that. He's priced at 14.5. I think Mikal Bridges, if he hits anywhere near his norm, will get over 14.5, as he was just 4 for 14 shooting and still finished with 9. So I definitely like Bridges over 14.5 points, and Jalen Brunson props over would be the only way I play what I think is the most underrated superstar in the NBA. All right, there you go. A lot of uncertainty, obviously, with Tatum out. We got the injury bounce back in game 5, and something else I'll point out about that is it often works well in the first game, not as well in games going forward. So is this the spot for the Knicks to close it out? Odds makers say so as a 2.5-point favorite. What are your thoughts? Comment below. Do you trust the Knicks here in game 6, or do the Celtics hit those threes once again and force a game 7? Hey, look, conspiracy theory is always in play with the NBA, right? That's why it's a little surprising the Knicks got all those free throws and all those fouls, because you had to figure the fix was in for Boston, right? But they're just not a physical team without Tatum. They're just not taking the ball to the hoop anymore. It's going to be live or die by the three. Do they hit as well on the road? Probably unlikely, although they did do it in game 3, but that, of course, was off back-to-back losses with Tatum in the lineup. It's going to come down to the three-point shot. I think the Knicks most likely get to the free throw line again. It's going to be hard for the NBA officials to rig this one. Tongue-in-cheek, I'm only half serious, but I know some of you love a good conspiracy theory in the NBA playoffs. Hey, seriously, comment below. I read the comments. I reply back. What are your thoughts on this Game 6? How are you approaching side, total, player props? Include some analysis if you have time. Let's learn and earn and win together here on Wager Talk TV. And don't forget, I've done every NBA playoff game every day here in the postseason. I will continue to do so. Thumbs up, like, positive comments below, and I'll keep them coming. I'm also doing a lot more free baseball videos because you all asked for them. Daily free baseball videos as well. So make sure you click subscribe and you click that bell for an instant alert here on Wager Talk TV so you know when the free play baseball videos and this NBA video is up each and every day. You can also find a link to them on my homepage at WagerTalk.com. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. I post the NBA video there every day for you as well, so it's a quick way to find it. And also, you can find free baseball plays there. I try to put a free play up every day in baseball. Keep in mind, I'm very selective. 2 to 3 best bets on average, all sports per day, which means that last cut that's just a bit outside is still a pretty strong opinion. I don't want to waste it. I put it up for free for everybody on my page. So check out the daily free play. Check out the links to the videos. And while you're there, check out my personal best bets because that's how you make money and take a serious investment approach. I've been doing this for 29 years. I started in 1996. Been handicapping football, baseball, and basketball for the past 4 decades. And right now, you can get a full year of all sports football, baseball, basketball for about $1 a play. No promo code needed. You know, I make the offer throughout the weeks here on the videos, but this one is even better for a couple reasons. First of all, there's no promo code needed, and you're getting a bonus 25% coupon that is good every day for the next 365 days and nights for any other purchases you want to make at WagerTalk. So yes, you're locking into a full year of my all sports best bets, but you're also getting a 25% discount on any other purchase you want to make. So if somebody has a big 5%er going or a different sport that I don't do, such as golf or hockey, you can still get those plays and save 25% every day for the next year, along with my personal best bet. So yeah, I make the 1-year offer, but this one is even better because you're getting the instant $811 discount. That gets it down to exactly $99 a month, $3 a day, $1 a play. Plus you're getting the bonus 25% coupon that you can use every day for the next year. This is a no-brainer. If you've been thinking about taking a serious investment approach, now is the time to get on board with this special offer. And also, it's a great time to get on board my best bets because last year we were red hot for the entire summer. NBA playoffs into baseball. In fact, we had doubled our all-sports bankroll by the end of August before football even began. Finished up over 133 units for the season in 2024 for the calendar year. We're looking to do it again here in 2025. So get on board now. Huge special offer. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, and get to my page quicker with shortcut wt.buzz/SM. Now, if you're new or you're still building your bankroll and you're not ready to make the 1-year commitment, I get it. Doesn't matter if you buy a 1 day, a 1 week, a 1 month, a 1 year. Every client gets the same best bets I'm personally using. And we are offering this weekend a 3-day sampler for just $49. So once again, if you want to try a smaller package, 3-day sampler for $49. And then contact WagerTalk.com's award-winning customer service team. And I'm sure they'll let you jump on the 1-year all access right after that. So once again, if you want to start smaller, 3-day sampler for $49 or get that 1 year for about $1 a play. No promo codes needed. They're on my page right now along with the daily free play. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, and get there quicker, wt.buzz/SM. Don't forget to follow me on social media. I also post all these special offers, promos, deals, videos, free plays. They're on X every day at Steve Merril, 2 R's, 1 L. See it on the screen there at the bottom, at Steve Merril, 2 R's, 1 L on X and Instagram. And stay tuned here to Wager Talk TV because you know there's more free play videos coming up next.